Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Tamara Bartmus with Lightsome Living, and I'm excited to jump into what to expect during this full moon, this Cancer full moon. And happy 2025. Welcome to the new year. This is wonderful to feel like the fresh energy and the fresh start. There are some energetic things happening that I think can give insight if you don't quite feel like the urge to be moving, but it will come. The energy will show up and support you. Just trust and be patient. The energy will always shift and work out for your good. So let's dive into what you can expect during this Cancer full moon. As we jump into this 2025, it's always during Capricorn season a good time to reflect, and the energy is definitely inviting us to do some reflection on a couple of things. Just to point out this before I jump into all the other aspects that I want to share, when we look at the retrograde energy, that helps us see what needs reflection, what needs reevaluation. And so when we are right now, as we go into the new year, we have Uranus in retrograde in Taurus. So we really need to examine the utilization of our resources and our own self, our own values, our own gifts as a resource in what we create and plan for in the future. When you have a solid footing in Taurus, it really helps in the establishment of your goals and vision in Capricorn. Because of the earth sign, it starts here and it builds through the Virgo earth sign and then into Capricorn. So don't miss out on this work of evaluating your finances, your resources, your personal value, and how you show up in the world, honoring that. The other thing that's showing up is this Jupiter in Gemini retrograde. And again, where you might have gathered so much information and been inundated with people or connection or information, it is maybe time to take a step back. Instead of gathering more information, it's actually time to evaluate what information has been gathered already, what needs to be sorted, and to not get caught up in the more, but in the what is of value here in what I've already gathered, all right? And then we have, of course, Mars retrograde. It has just for this full moon moved into Cancer, and it is conjunct with the moon. And this brings some interesting dynamics of this very fiery planet that is sort of being held in, what would I say, a mother's time out, saying, hey, instead of taking action so much, can we just reevaluate and see what action has been worthwhile and be able to determine what course of action should be taken as we move into Mars in direct comes February. So those are the retrograde planets. We have the nodes about to shift into and leave the Aries Libra axis. They've been there for the last 18 months, teaching lessons around self and others, and how you show up and honor yourself, and how you bring that into relationships, and whether it's a romantic relationship or whether it's a close friendship or whether it's a business partnership, all those things are being impacted by this dynamic. And we do have something during this full moon that is even accentuating that some more. But as the nodes will be shifting on January, no, they have already shifted. I'm sorry, I'm just looking at this. They've already shifted into Pisces, leaving the Aries Libra axis. And in this shift, we're entering a new lesson time frame, a totally new axis of Pisces Virgo. And we will talk more about that because it is a lesson that we all get to experience collectively from our emotional development and growth. In the themes of Virgo and themes of Pisces. And we can see there's a lot of Piscean energy happening and will sort of be happening for a bit. This will be important to discuss in greater detail. So as we look at this full moon, we can see the sun and the moon in opposition at 23 degrees, 59 minutes. Again, go look at your birth chart and say, what do I have in Cancer at 23 degrees? What do I have in Capricorn at 23 degrees? This will give you an indication, especially the house placement, of those degrees will help you understand the areas of your life that are most and greatly impacted by this full moon. We have, of course, the conjunction of Mars with the moon and Pluto in Aquarius with the sun. And this is creating quite a bit of like tension as far as lessons from our past that need to be released, and to be healed and to be able to so that you can move forward. I could see some of these lessons being around the father-mother dynamic, particularly home and work, any kind of repressed resentment or anger or frustration in those areas or people that can really sort of be stirred up and needing to be addressed. And so this opposition creates some natural tension, of course. And what we have to alleviate that during this full moon is what is called an easy opposition. And it's these apex points here. You see a sextile and a trine, and then you see a trine here and a sextile here. And these easy opposition points are the keys to alleviating the tension that you might feel during this full moon, this emotional tension, the pull towards the future and the pull towards the past. That's the part of that opposition of Capricorn and Cancer. Cancer wants to sort of, in its negative space, wants to sort of wallow in the pain and the sorrows of the past, like poor me, very victim energy. And even with Mars in retrograde there, it could even stir up some of that old victim anger energy, towards yourself or towards others, where you feel like you've been taken advantage of, and or you've really not stood up for yourself, and you need to evaluate what that really means and how you can step out of old habits and really step into a place of personal power and personal responsibility to move forward out of old stories and old experiences and old relationships that really might not have be in alignment with who you truly are. Okay. So when we look at these easy opposition apexes, we see that we have Uranus retrograde is one of the apexes. This is really important. Again, the sun moon is hitting the moon and the sun exact with that. So paying attention to that is going to be really important and helpful. Again, themes around money, themes around personal worth and value, and how you see yourself as a valuable resource as well. So that's going to expect some, like, Uranus always brings a little bit of something unexpected to the table, and learn to see the deeper meaning in that so that you can do the transformative work. It shakes things up because it's meant to destabilize, I guess, the old norm so that you can move forward in a positive way. When we look at the apex of the other easy opposition, we can see that it hits both, the sextiles hit both Pluto and the sun, and the trine hits both Mars and the moon. And so this one is a little bit more potent, I would say, with Neptune at the end of its Piscean journey. We are getting there. It's about one more year to go within Pisces, and Neptune in Pisces is really an important position of recognizing that you can either lean into old habits of avoiding your feelings, or you can actually deal with your feelings. And with the North Node there, it's teaching and meaning to guide you into learning how to feel your feelings, learning how to tune into your spiritual messages and gifts and higher wisdom. Really learning those spiritual habits that help you navigate things instead of just getting caught up in the vices and the ignoring of the things that can be really emotional for us. And so learning how to deal with and manage one's emotions is part of this alleviation of the opposing energy here. So don't it is easier said than done sometimes, especially when the emotions are really deep and really big. But to sit and to have tools of support as you navigate emotional dysregulation is going to be really important, so that you integrate the lessons instead of avoiding the lessons. And that will empower you as you move forward. And Neptune's then shifts into Aries later. So the other thing that's really important is during this Cancer full moon is the cardinal T-square. We have the opposing energy again, this opposing energy. So themes around mother, father, past wounds, and emotional burdens or trauma that is keeping you from being able to move forward towards your goals. One of the things that can help in navigating this that we should pay attention to is this Chiron that is just recently turned direct in Aries. Chiron can be the wound that we carry, the deep wounds that we carry when it comes to understanding who we are and trusting our instincts. And with it being part of this Cancer full moon dynamic, it's really important to pay attention to what are there other wounds that I need to be aware of. If you've moved beyond those wounds, awesome. And maybe it's time to help others do the same. And so you become more of a mentor to them and help guide them through moving beyond their sense of lack of confidence in themselves and lack of action and taking and moving forward in the things that they know that they should do. So it can be quite the two sides of the same coin. Either you're caught in non-action and a victim of who you think you are, or you're I don't know who you are and you're able to take action and help others do the same. So that is one of those key points during this full moon to pay attention to. But because again, the moon is this it is really the key here with the full moon is showing us the wounds of our past that might have impacted the sense of our spirituality. It might have impacted our sense of self, and it's showing up in relationships or in other aspects of partnership in our life. This is really, and even in our utilization of our resources and money, these are the themes to be aware of. And so when you go to your personal birth chart, pay attention again, not just to where the moon is placed, but also what's happening with the Capricorn sign and what's happening in your Neptune and what's happening in your Aries. Those four signs are going to give you a good handle on the energy of this full moon and be able to be aware of what you need to be doing and releasing and changing as you move into this next 2025. So I hope that you found this helpful. As I go through every video I do, I always recommend an essential oil as an additional tool for energy support. And the oil that came up for this Cancer full moon is called past tense. It's known as the oil of relief. And for one, when you get caught up in patterns of overextending yourself and serving others and not really understanding boundaries, sometimes you can you sort of build up a lot of tension within the body, and it's time to learn how to relax, to calm the body. And so this oil specifically is wonderful as a relief to tense and tight parts of the body. It helps to emotionally let go of past hurts that have created pain within you. Anytime that you have overextended yourself, it helps you bring calm and an ability to just see life with a new perspective, to be a little bit more in balance, and to look at life instead of through the pain lens, but through more of a gratitude lens. And in that shift, be able to really integrate the energy that it needs to be integrated, let go, and release the pains of your past so you really can move forward as Capricorn is trying to propel you and direct you into your personal mission and personal purpose and your great work that you have to do in this life. So with that information, I hope you find this helpful. If you want to know more about essential oils for different zodiac signs and the different physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual layers of it, you can get my free cheat sheet. With that, after you get that free cheat sheet, you might be able to also purchase these. These are small guides that will help you take it to another level and see really the energetic impact that this opposing energy of Capricorn and Cancer are having for you. So I hope you find this helpful. I am excited for the new year. I'm excited to explore what is going to come energetically and how I'm shifting and changing with it as well. And I hope you make time for that for yourself. Thanks so much for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe if you found this helpful, and we'll talk to you the next one.